Hello students, good afternoon. Today we shall discuss the next part of Unit 1, that is the last part. You see, time is very limited, so we have to be very selective. Okay, I have already told you about 3 questions, and this is the 4th question which I am discussing today. So you will certainly get questions from all these 4 questions, right? So all these 4 questions covers the entire Unit 1, so that tomorrow I can start Unit 2. So because time is very less, you have to cooperate. Okay. Now today's point of discussion is, what is the growth of Indian agriculture during the plan period in Indian economy? As you know that the planning in India started in the year 1951. Okay. In 51-52 year, financial year, the planning started. When I talk of planning, we have 2 types of planning. Okay, one is short term planning, other is long term planning. Short term planning is made for a short period, say for 1 year. But in India we adopt 5-year plannings. In some other countries they adopt 10-year plannings. But in India our long term planning is 5-year plans. So the first 5-year plan was started in 1951. The main objective of the first 5-year plan was how to boost agriculture. How to boost agriculture, how to improve the agricultural productivity, the condition of the farmers, the condition of the land, and to provide subsidies to the farming sector. Therefore, the main thrust of the first 5-year plan was agriculture. Therefore, in every plan rather, except second plan main thrust was on industry, but in every plan, I should say, major thrust has been given to agricultural productivity, because India lives on agriculture, and 60% more people depend upon agriculture for their livelihood, for their employment, for their sustenance. Therefore, in every plan, maximum thrust has been given to agriculture. Today we shall discuss different plan periods, how much money has been allocated for the agricultural sector, and we shall discuss about 4 main crops and what was the target, what was their achievement, how much we produced in this plan period in all the 4 crops. Okay. Now I have made this table for you. You can just pause the video and you can just write it down or take a photograph of it and see later on. Now you see, first heading is plan, second is total expenditure, third is food grains, means total production of food grains during that plan period. Then target achieved, oil seeds, sugarcane, cotton and jute. These 4 are the major crops that we have covered in our discussion. There are a number of crops, but these 4 are the major crops which are produced as cash crops. And also, when we talk of the food grains, it is also one. So 5 food grains means food grain contains paddy, then wheat, then bajra, and all these food grains, they taken together, they constitute the food grain sector. So food grain, oil seed, sugarcane, cotton and jute. These are the 5 crops that we have covered. Okay, let's talk about the first plan. The first plan was from 1951 to 1956, and during this period the total expenditure was 1960 crores only, because on those days in 1950-51 the total budget was very less. So it was the major chunk of the budget comes to agriculture, 1960 crores. Food grain production in this plan period was only 67 million tons. Only food grains we have called million tons. Other we have measured in terms of metric tons. Okay. Now, when you talk of the oil seeds, it is 5.6 million metric tons. Then sugarcane 60 billion metric tons, cotton 4 metric million tons and jute 4.2 million tons. So in the first 5-year plan, because we didn't have much experience how to cultivate, how to allocate funds to different sectors, so the production was just haphazard and we could not achieve much more high. Okay, now come to the second plan. As I told you, in second plan, the main thrust was not on agriculture. We just adopted the Mahalanobis plan that and we accepted the Russian model in India and we gave maximum thrust to industries. But still, in the second plan, 4,620 crores was allocated for agricultural sector, and the food production increased to 80 million tons. Similarly, oilseed production 6.5, sugarcane 104 metric million tons, cotton 5.4, and jute it reduced to 4 million tons. So in the second plan, we have shown phenomenal growth in food grains and also in sugarcane. Now in the third plan, again top priority was given to agriculture. It was in the year 1961 to 66. So 8,500 of 80 crores, almost double money was given to this sector, where the total production of food grains was reduced to 72 million tons, and oilseed 6.4, 127 metric tons of sugarcane, 4.6 metric tons of cotton, and 4.5 metric tons of jute was produced. But remember, during the third 5-year plan, India faced two wars. One war with China in 1962, and second war with Pakistan in 1965. Therefore, there was a huge shortage of food grains during these 5 years. So that's why our Prime Minister of that time, Lal Bahadur Shastri, gave this slogan, Jai Jawan and Jai Kisan. Okay, there was acute scarcity of food grains because of the two wars and a number of famines that occurred during that period. During the fourth plan, 1969, you see 1966, third plan ended, but the fourth plan was started in 1969. Why? These 3 years, because the third plan badly failed. The third plan was the most failure plan of Indian planning period. Therefore, after the third plan, we didn't go for the fourth plan immediately. We simply made 3 annual plans every year, one year annual plans. And in 1969 again, we started the fourth plan. In the fourth plan, 1969 to 1974. So these 3 years when planning was not made, that is called plan holidays. Okay, during that plan holidays, there was no 5-year plan. We simply made 1-year plans. So in the fourth plan again, you see the total amount allocated was 15,800 crores, and food grains increased to 104 crores. Sorry, oilseeds 8.7 metric tons. Sugarcane gives a continuous rise. Sugarcane production has never fallen in India, and cotton to 5.8 and jute to 6.2 metric tons. In the similarly, the fifth plan, total outlay is 39,430 crores. It is more than 2.5 times. Food grains also tremendously rised by 132 metric tons, and every sector of that planning we see that is a tremendous rise in all these sectors, in cotton, in jute, in oilseeds, in food grains, everywhere. In the fifth plan, in sixth plan, 1,09,300 crores was the allocation, 146 metric tons was the food grain production. You see, in all these cases, we have shown a phenomenal rise. Now in the seventh plan, again 85 to 90, double amount was allocated, 2,18,730 crores. Food grains also increased by 171 million tons, and also everywhere we find the rise. In the eighth plan, 92 to 97, again double the amount, 4,75,480 crores was the allocation, 119 metric tons was the food grain production, 25 metric tons was the oilseed production, 277 was the sugarcane production, 14.3 and 11. These are the achievements. Ninth plan, 97 to 2002, again double, 8,50,000 59,200 crores was the allocation to 11 metric tons. That up to 19 you see 79 we didn't achieve self-reliant in food grains. But after that, since the 6th plan, we have started attaining self-reliance in food grain production. Rather, in recent years, we have been a major exporter of food grains to the world. So, similarly, the case 9th plan and 2000, you see 8,59,000. Then 10th plan 2002-2007, 15,25,000. in 11th plan, it was, you see, from this, it has always become double and double and double allocation. 36,76,936. Then in 12th plan period, 2012-2017, 76,69,807 million, 7 million crore rupees was the allocation of funds for the agricultural sector, and the total food grain production has increased from 67 million tons in 1951 to 300 million tons in 2017. Of course, the 13th plan is in progress and we have no data for that. And the oilseed production has increased from 5.6 million tons in 1951 to 35 million metric tons in 2017. Talk of the sugarcane sector, from 60 million tons it has increased to 390 million tons. In the cotton sector, we simply produced 4 million tons in 1951, that has increased to 26 million tons. And in case of jute, from 4.2 million tons it has become 14.5 million tons. So almost in every sector we find a 10-fold rise. There is a 10x rise or 8x rise. That is, the production has increased to more than 8 times, 10 times over these years. Okay. Now, question is, why or how the production has increased to such a huge extent, and what are the changes, recent changes that took place in Indian agriculture? Now, the changes in output is not only due to rise of funds or rise of technology. It is because of the production of more cash crops. The production of more cash crops has led to more wealth creation, wealth generation, more employment and more income. And second factor, if I say, then the rise of technology. Now, the Green Revolution, which came in 1966, now that Green Revolution has, I shall discuss about Green Revolution in the next unit. Okay, Green Revolution has brought a revolutionary change in the mechanized, in the way of farming of the country. Now, the farmers today no longer prefer to go by traditional way. They prefer to go by mechanized way, which is a cost reduction method. If we introduced a machine, if we introduced a farm equipment in your farm, what happens? Your cost is reduced. It may be that in the initial stage the cost is high, but gradually the cost will diminish. You can hire also. There is no question of purchasing. You can hire. So therefore, because of farm mechanization, because of the total transformation of the technological change in Indian farming, so the output has increased. And what is the third reason? The third reason is the Indian farmers, those who just thought that agriculture is a way of life, now they are thinking that it's a profession. Okay, farmers now take agriculture by choice, not by chance. They are thinking that agriculture is a profession. So because it is a profession for them, so they try their best to produce as much output as possible. They produce 3 crops annually. They do whatever best possible for them to do, and therefore, because they have accepted it as a profession, like the Western country farmers, so they have taken it as a profession. And the technical guidance that are being provided to them through the agricultural scientists, the agricultural officers, the different seminars, webinars, different melas, different sabhas made for them by the government to upgrade them from time to time. That has increased the output. And secondly, there has been a tremendous psychological change in the minds of the people. That is, agriculture now is a profitable business. It is not a loss business. One who can do agriculture, I have seen we have taken number of examples where people passing out from agricultural universities, BTech students, now they are going for farming. So it's no more a matter of, no more a business of the illiterate people. Now the literate people are entering into it. They are having the all qualities, all qualifications for doing farming. They know the techniques. So therefore, output is increasing year after year. And we will see very soon the population engaged in agriculture. You see, in 1951, 82% of the people of the country were doing farming. Now if you see in 2021, this has been reduced to less than 50%. See, in America, there only 4% people are doing agriculture. But in India, it's still 45 to 50% people are doing farming. Now that will be reducing year after year, because people will go for farming by choice, not by chance. You have nothing to do, so go for farming. No, that's not the case. You will go to farming by choice, and you take it as a profession, as a challenge to fulfill your dreams, because agriculture is the most paying sector, I should say, most paying sector, and people have realized it, and therefore agricultural output has increased tremendously over these years. And we expect that in the 13th plan, the total food grain output, which was only 67 million tons, that to cross 500 million tons by 2022. By the end of the 13th plan, we expect it to rise to 500 million tons, and if that so happens, then India becomes a surplus country in food grains. India will export huge amount of food grains to foreign countries, and we can also gain a lot of foreign exchange. Okay, so this is all about your unit 1. You read your book. Okay, next time, tomorrow again I will send you a video. काली जो वीडियो पठेई से गलानी से वीडियो को आज आउ थे पठेइली तेणु से जाइए बोधे तेणु बर्तमान आउ गोटे वीडियो एवं छाड़ी सो इट विल रीच यू बाय नाइट काली आउ गोटे वीडियो छाड़ी बिकज आमको वार फुटिंग युद्धकालीन भितर पढ़ा पड़ो सो दैट यू कैन कंप्लीट द कोर्स ओके थैंक यू हैव ए नाइस टाइम